Good morning, YouTube. How are you? Welcome back. It's Wednesday. It's still very slow in Meineke Sentiments in here, and I don't really have an exact reason why. Is it worldly events? Is it just my area? Is it me? Who knows? So someone asked, what is the worst oil consumption that we know of? Well, since we've been really trying to get a handle on what the consumers are doing in the vehicles and engines, the ones we can identify and the ones we can make believers, we try and get them to come back within 500 miles or 1,000 miles if we already don't know what's going on. So if we establish at the first time that they're here for an oil change that they have severe oil consumption or any oil consumption, we document it and we say, hey, stick to a 3,000 mile oil change. And if it's not really bad, come back in 3,000 miles. Let's check your oil again. If it's really bad, we want you back within 1,000 miles. We're going to make some recommendations on how to control it. If there's engine lights on and other things like that, and the customer doesn't want to fix any of that stuff, all those problems in your engine attribute to oil consumption. PCV valve, dirty air filters, intake hoses, check engine lights, on and on and on. So if the customer is really not interested in doing it the right way, I mean, what are we doing here? If you can't help me fix the problem, then what are we doing? So yes, your engine light on can attribute to oil consumption problems. So we've had a few customers that we've worked on with Valvoline Oil Restore and Protect and have had good results. But the worst has been a Honda Accord 4-cylinder non-turbo, 500 miles, 2 quarts of oil recently. And we did switch them to Valvoline Restore and Protect. They came back in 500 miles. It was down 2 quarts. So we topped it with Valvoline Restore and Protect, and we want them to come back in another 500 miles. Remember, 4 oil changes is what they claim. And we have some other voodoo that we do that helps move that process along, but sometimes we just want to go straight with the Valvoline Restore and Protect. I, for one, have fixed my oil consumption in my vehicles, but I'm a strict 3,000 mile oil change guy, and we don't let it get dark. We have a lady who came back the other day within 1,000 miles in a GM Ecotec 2.4, which is just a known oil burner, and it's not because the engine's a shitty design, because if you get a new engine, you don't burn oil. Makes sense? You get a new Kia and Hyundai engine, they don't burn oil. So it's what the consumers are doing to those engines because they don't know how to maintenance them, or they ignore the maintenance and are not doing it right. So we have a couple. We had an F-150 5.0 in here, and we said that was what, like 3 quarts low on oil? More like 4 quarts low on oil with no oil leaks. Not sure what the mileage indicators were. So we just started from scratch, changed the oil, fresh filter, and put a 3,000 mile sticker in there. I don't know if we're ever going to see that customer back. But yeah, so documented, we could say is 500 mile oil change done. Within 500 miles they were back, and we had 2 quarts worth of oil consumption. And one day you can have it, and the one day you can't. It's just like you're filling up a cup, and then the cup is just going to overflow, and then it's going to, it's going to get to the point of overflow, and then it's not going to overflow, and then it's going to overflow. It's a gradual process. It's just like layers of sand building up on a sand dune, right? You follow me? And once the sand dune reaches a point, you can't see over it, and the oil can't be controlled by the rings, So I'm just giving that. It's a gradual process, like layers of paint, skank and scum and sticky and gooey and stanky, gooey, and keep overextending your oil changes and cheap fuel and no tune-ups and no maintenance, and then one day you turn around and you're like, damn, my engine light's on, my oil light's on, or you check your oil and there's none on the stick. Now you got to try and reverse that process.
That's what happened to my cousin. Bought the car. She was driving it around, and one day while she's driving it, the oil light comes on, and she texts me and she goes, what do I do? I said, pull over, check your oil. If there's no oil on the stick, put oil in it. If there's oil on the stick, we got way bigger problems.
We could have way bigger problems. So we're going to try and bring you more documentation. Thanks for watching.